Back to part two of February the 12th, 2026, UB2B. What we're going to do now is call someone and they're going to share a bank story. It's in three stages. Oh, and by the way, many of you are calling and saying, "Frank, can I have the phone number to Mr. D, Mr. C, Mr. T, Mr. whoever you talk to?" No. Oh, but Frank, I would really love to be able to go to that bank and talk to them too. No. You see, if I betrayed them, if I told you who they are, I don't think anybody else would ever trust me again to protect them. So please understand that I'd rather not. And what I say to them is, I encourage you. You go visit a bank. In fact, when we finish with this bank story, when we say goodbye to the gentleman, I'm going to go over the again, again, well, the way I believe that you should approach a bank. I hope that helps you. Okay. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and start here. Calls. Mr. D, I'm calling you now. Turn down your volume.
Hello, Frank.
Hey, Mr. D, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Oh,
I saw your previous video. You're doing well.
okay. Now we have to convince everybody else of that, okay?
100%. Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
D, I thank you again for your desire to want to help the family. I know this is kind of a private thing for you, but you opened up your heart to me and you decided, sure, I'll tell them. Go ahead and start. I'm going to be quiet, and along the road, I'll make some notes, and at the end, I'll ask you, in case you forgot some things that you told me to re-stimulate you. But you have the floor. Start at the very beginning. Your story starts a year ago, so go for it.
My story, well, first off, thank you. I'm a fairly new to your viewership. In fact, I just signed up today. So I wanted to say I've actually been accumulating currency since 2023.
Okay.
Look, the dinar, the dong. And it's funny because I actually have a friend who's a wealth manager at Wells Fargo. And when I started to purchase, he shared with me that it was a scam. And so I find it interesting, and I continued because I just feel led 100%.
What state?
And
What state?
I live in Oregon. Excuse me. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you that. I live in Oregon.
And we'll get to the bank as your story continues. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I visited my local Chase back in 2023, and they called it a scam. And I said, oh, okay. So I continued to accumulate currencies. And this past November, I walked in and spoke to the ops manager. And I just asked her, hey, where are you guys at for currencies? Are you going to be exchanging? And so we spoke, and she asked what kind of currencies I had. So I kind of went down the list with her. And she had said, she didn't call it a scam. And she asked if I could come back and bring in some of my currency.
Oh.
So I did. Oh, yeah. Yep. I spent 45 minutes with her. It really didn't go anywhere, but she wanted to validate my currency. So I said, sure. So I brought in a couple samples of each. And then I followed up in January. Basically, she said, hey, when it happens, we'll contact you. Okay, great. But I really wanted to develop the relationship. And so I followed up in January with an email, and I got no reply. And so at that point, I went to LinkedIn and I engaged with a JP Morgan wealth and relationship manager. I thought it was interesting. And so, we spoke about currency, and he admitted that he didn't know much about it. And so I kind of educated him just a little bit. And he said, give me a few days to check this out. And I said, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, somebody's gonna roll the roll the rock uphill for me. I appreciate that.
Okay.
There's very few, right?
Yeah.
And so a few days later, he called me and he said, "Look, I've got some red flags." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Well, how did you accumulate all this currency?" I said, "Look, I bought from X, Y, and Z," and he just said there's a lot of red flags. And I said, "Well, I've got all my receipts to support my purchases, and I feel very comfortable, and I have a black light, and so I've done my diligence. These are all valid."
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, "Well, can you send over a list with pictures of the currency?" He'd sent me a text and said, "I need to have, all the denominations, how many denominations, how much of this, how much of that." So I did all of that.
What bank was
And
this? What bank? Chase?
This is Chase.
Continue.
Yeah, this is Chase.
Okay.
And so I sent over an email with the pictures of my currency and my receipts. Well, he reached out the other day and said, "Hey, I want to meet with you." And so my wife and I today over the phone met with him at 9 a.m. That was this morning.
Okay.
We had a meeting that lasted the better part of 45 minutes. But here's where this gets interesting. He also brought in another relationship manager who did most of the talking.
Okay.
And I shared with him, I said, "Look, I'm requesting a private exchange."
Good.
And he had said, "Oh, okay, well, we got to look into that." I said, "Okay, that's fine. Just so you know, I'm not going to get on a plane to fly to Portland or Seattle with with foreign currencies in my backpack. It's just not going to happen." I said, "You're going to come to me if we're going to do this." Yeah. And so they were both very open to it. And I just said, "Look, this is all I can do." So here's what we covered. We covered setting up trusts, foundations. We covered levels of benefits, and you know this, but I was pretty new to the conversation. But there's different levels. The private banking kicks in between 10 to 25 million. They spoke of a family office 360 view when you're at 100 million or more. And so we covered gifting, and
that's called the penthouse. That's the penthouse.
That would be a penthouse, absolutely. So we spoke about we spoke about different tax rates for different states. I play a lot of competitive golf, so my plan is to go south, but I need a tax-friendly place, right? Okay. So I can keep working on my golf game in the winter. The call ended after about 50 minutes, and he said, "Hey, I'd like to have another call with you this coming Tuesday to discuss where you want to be post-exchange for your investment." And so really kind of conclusion is, to me, it sounds more like when than if.
Well said. Did you feel at any time that they were, I mean, you didn't sense that it was a scam from them, did you? Like you did back in 2023.
Yeah, no, I think, look, they understand what's happening with the dollar. And I think that's very relevant, right?
Right.
And so that's what we were speaking on is, gosh, I went back to 1971 and all of that. So yeah, we had a healthy dialogue about it, and they said absolutely, things are very fluid. The dollar comes and goes, and right now it's down, and you can look at that and verify and validate the dollar's down. So I don't think that if they knew or knew more than they were able to share, they didn't. They all they did was talk about when this happens, when the exchange happens. How do you want to, we're going to talk about how you want to proceed. But that was really it. I didn't feel that they were thinking that this was a scam at all. Not at all.
The first gentleman talked to you for a little bit. Then he brings in a relationship manager, correct?
He's a relationship manager. The first gentleman that I talked to, this other person has a similar title,
But
and I didn't write it down, but I've got the email to verify it.
but he
And
he will help you with the private banking side, correct?
100%, yeah, 100%,
And they
yes,
talk to you about how they're going to be able to exchange the benefit, the things that they have for you, the tools, the vehicles.
hundred
Um,
percent.
this relationship manager spent a lot of time with you, and he knew that you had dinars.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. D, he finds you
Mm-hmm.
as a high net worth individual.
Exactly. That's exactly the term.
What do you
That's
mean?
exactly
What do you
the
mean?
high. Yeah, the high net individual.
Did he
That's
say
what he
that?
said.
Oh, he
Yeah,
said that.
that's what he said. Yes.
That's what
And
you.
so what was interesting on top of on top of that was he was really talking about, look, I want to come over, I want to drive over, I want to meet with you once a quarter. We'll play golf. I'll take you to dinner.
No.
Whatever you want to do. He said, but this was the relationship piece.
Did you tell him how many dinars you have?
I did.
That's why he's being so sweet to you.
Yes.
I like that
Yes.
you did that. I did. I'm
I
sorry.
did.
No, look, you found what I call a golden nugget, man. You just polished this egg. You just polished this. You stick with him, and he wants to talk to you more often. Yeah, get him out on the golf course because that's an open
Amen.
area where he doesn't have his boss looking over his shoulder, and you flat out open up to him, man. Take the
Yeah.
find out. Take your phone with you. You can look up KTFA. Go into my form and show him the articles. When you're done talking 18 holes, and sit down, have something to drink, and show him. Look, let me show you something. Look, the CBI says that they're lifting the three zeros from their exchange rate. I mean, what more, huh?
Yeah.
And you know it's surrounded with politics. You know it's surrounded with a bunch of garbage, a lot of noise. They're going to do it. They're not going to do it. Trust me, they're doing it because you're in the banking industry and you know what Donald Trump is doing with the American dollar against other currencies. End of story.
Absolutely.
End of story.
Absolutely. So we do have another call this coming Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know what'll come of it. If there's something, earth shaking, and maybe by then we're having a completely different conversation, my
You
friend.
every day it's different, isn't it? It's dynamic.
Feels like it.
It's fluid. It's just moving every day. Major accomplishments. Gosh almighty, 72 hours ago, my friends in Iraq were jumping off the roof that it was the end of the world. But
Right.
I told them, I said, you don't understand. You don't know what I know. Please, I'm begging you, just hang in there and wait. Oh no, we're packing up. Eddie wants to close his market. I said, don't, because it'll take forever to reopen it. And you know that once you pop out of that market, the competition against you, somebody else takes your place, and how are you going to get back into the market? So he's being a little bit more sensible. It's just angry. They're just frustrated. So are we, aren't we?
So are we. Amen. But boy, look, we have a different life than they have in Iraq. And so as we talk about and we discuss about what it's going to do for us, yes, I'm going to buy a second home. Yes, I'm going to play golf, all that. These people are living a completely different existence. And I think that's really, the piece for me. I feel a little selfish at times, but I do feel led to this. But my heart does go out to these people. It's not their fault. It's their government's fault. The government did this.
And you pray for them, okay? Pray for my
Amen.
friends in Iraq. Pray for my teams. Know that I pray for everybody. You're part of our family now. You have just joined us today, you say, right?
Yes, sir.
You'll get your email tomorrow and come on in and use your password and username and navigate at ktfalways.com and get to know all your brothers and sisters there, okay? I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have a real strong feeling that on Tuesday you're going to learn a lot more. I don't want to tell you what I'm talking about, but you get back with me and let me know what they tell you, okay?
Yes, sir, I will.
All
I
right.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. God bless you too, sir. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Wow, isn't that nice? Again, I appreciate these people that go out of their way to bring us bank stories. I got many of them. I got so many of them in here. So yeah, we'll share as often as we can. Listen, now that we've ended, like I promised, let me tell you something. If you're afraid to talk to a bank about the Iraqi dinar, You should not be. Number one, God's on your side. Pray. Number two, they know. Number three, you have the evidence. All you got to do is look. That's YouTube. Look at my channel. I was going to try to find my channel in here. You know what my channel is. Um, Go to ktfalways.com. ktfalways.com. And when you get there, hold on a second. Is this losses or gains? What was I saying? Oh yeah. If you want to have a relationship with the bank right now is a good time to do it because they know what's going on. But don't go in there with a, with a militant attitude. Don't go in there with a bullish attitude. Don't go in there like, I know everything and you don't. No, don't do that. Look, go in there and tell them that you want to open a checking account, a savings account. That's the first thing you should do. Establish that you are loyal to them. You're going to be their customer. They're going to be willing to work with you even better. All right. As you establish this, you can bring up the subject that, hey, can I have an appointment with your wealth manager? Oh, sure. We'll make an appointment with you. What you have some investments? I do. I do. I have some investments. Yeah. Some people say, I do. I do. I have some inheritance, whatever you want to call it. And when you have that appointment with the wealth manager of a bank, you just simply tell them that you have an investment that you believe is going to mature in this year of 2026. They don't need to know, but you need to know. What can you do with me? How can you help me? You have lawyers, you have investment teams. What do you do? Who do you work with? Find out. And what can the bank do? How much can you do for me to protect my money? And in that conversation, they will eventually say to you, well, what is your investment? If you feel uncomfortable at the time, don't just tell them, I'd rather keep it to myself. Okay. Well, what is your investment? I've invested in foreign currency. The moment you say that, boom, the light will come on. The moment you say that. Because look at that, 2023. The poor guy, what did he say? They said it was a scam, Frank. Back in 2023, the moment you said it, boom, it's a scam. But now, the moment you say Iraqi dinar, boom, they'd like to talk to you, or how can we help you? Or if you hear that it's a scam, it would be maybe 1 out of 10. Whereas back in 23, it was all 10. You see the difference? It's not a secret anymore. Everybody knows. So that's the way you want to approach a bank. And if they should ask you what your investment is when you have that second meeting with a wealth management advisor where you're trying to get information on how to protect your money, then you go ahead and tell them that I have foreign currency. And if they say to you, what is that foreign currency? Say it loud, say it proud. I have the Iraqi dinar. Look, I'm begging you, leave the Vietnam. If they want to know others, fine. Tell them what else you got. Just talk about the Iraqi dinar. Okay, you're focused on it. You're a pro. You're a student. You. This is what you know about this. Okay, and you can prove it to them with all the articles. You tell them you got this, you got this, you got this, you got. Good God, well, which one are you going to exchange? Which one do you study? And I feel so bad, man, when people call and they say to me, "Yeah, I told the banker I have Zimbabwe." Did he laugh at you? What do you mean, Frank? Zimbabwe doesn't use a currency. Oh, I didn't know that. You do now. They use American bonds to run their country. Now, I wouldn't throw away the Zimbabwe notes that you have. They may eventually come back and use them again, but not now. They're nothing. The same thing with the Venezuela. Thank you for those of you that are calling and placing your orders. Thank you. The Venezuela sombrerano. I already explained to you that you don't want the Venezuela Boulevard. No, been there, done that. That's old stuff. That's lost about 85% of its value. We sell the one that Donald Trump is supporting. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to share with you. Tomorrow, when we do our UB2B, and then we do the second UB2B. At the end of the second UB2B, I'm going to explain to you step by step on how to join ktfolways.com. Many of you are floating in boats around the island of ktfolways.com. I'd like for you to anchor your boats, come to shore, and be with us, okay? Now, I'll explain to you. Many of you say to me, well, I want to be, but I can't afford it. We're the only people on the internet that have a form on the Iraqi dinar, and there's no charge for it. It's free. Join us. The final article threads are the heartbeat of our forum. Now there is premium, and that is $10 a month because I have to pay the webmasters for that chat room. It costs a lot of money, thousands of dollars. So yeah, that's $10 a month. I can't afford it, Frank. For real? No, I can't. What's $10 a month? At 30 cents a day? 33 cents a day. 33.33 cents a day. Uh, okay. If you can't afford that, I respect that. I respect that. And if you can't afford it, I still want you to be with us. You know my phone number. Call me. I'll give you 3 months free. I used to give 1 month free, but we got more wristband. What do you call that? More. We're stronger. Bandwidth, my wife says. And I'll give you 3 months. All you have to do is call me, give me your username. I don't have a username. Well, please join my form and get a username, and then call me and tell me you want free premium, and I'll gladly give you 3 months of premium free. Okay. But for those of you that can afford it, I humbly ask you to pay it. It's how I make my living. And a man should be paid his worth. If you find me worthy, I appreciate your $10. I appreciate your 33 cents a day for what I give you every day. What I gave you today, was it worth 33 cents? And if you cannot afford 33 cents, don't be afraid to call me. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I mean it from the bottom of my soul. I will give you 3 months free. I can't think of anything else, so I'm done. I hope you enjoyed the first UB2B and you enjoyed the second UB2B. God bless you all. Sweet aloha to you. And I'll see you tomorrow, Friday at around 4 between 4 and 4:30 is when I like to come on. Anything else that I should mention, Tank?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Oh, did it poke you?
It did. It got me.
Oh,
Thank goodness it wasn't.
the cactus plant that we were messing with just poked Tank. I'm sorry. I'm gonna kiss you, boo boo. Yeah. Okay. God bless you all. Sweet aloha. Thank you for the time that you spent with me today. I sincerely appreciate you. You know, one day we will meet. We will meet. One day. One day we will meet. And you'll know it's me approaching you because I approach everybody the same way. As I approach you, I slightly bow. And then I squeeze the toothpaste out of you. Bye bye.